Welcome. This is a yoga practice that will get into your hamstrings, into your IT band. Not too many chaturangas, not too many arm balances, mostly focusing on the lower half of our body. So a couple blocks can be handy, and let's get started. Welcome to Child's Pose. Come down to the mat, bring your hips back towards your heels. Extend your arms today towards the top edge of your mat and let your forehead rest down. Take a few breaths here, filling up deeply, exhaling deeply. Let your shoulders be soft, so if your elbows need to bend or if you need to walk them back a couple inches, that's fine. Allow your forehead to massage right to left on your yoga mat. Bring your awareness into your lower body, and if you need to make your knees wider or closer together to bring comfort into your hips, find a place in which you can become grounded in your legs, heavy in your body. And take 2 more breaths here. Deeply in, deeply out. Again, inhale. Exhale. On your next breath in, lift to tabletop, hands and knees. Tuck your toes and hover your knees up off the yoga mat. And scrub the heels of your hands backwards to broaden your chest. And encourage your knees forward isometrically to feel your torso suspend above your yoga mat. Allow your center body to heat up and push the ground away through all 10 of your finger pads and the perimeter of your palms. Take another full breath in here. Then shift to a bent knee, downward facing dog. So allow your knees to stay bent as you shift your hips up, straighten out through your arms, and then slowly start to pedal your legs straight. Find a grounded, firm connection through your hands into the yoga mat. Then bend into your right knee and press your left heel down towards the yoga mat until you can feel a stretch down the back line of your left leg. Good. Now bend your left knee and do the same on the right. Press your right heel low. Now lift and spike both heels. Allow your sit bones to rise up. Stay grounded in your hands. Then press both heels low. And it's not the idea that the heels touch the ground, but instead you feel length from the top of your legs all the way down through your calves, out through your heels. Now soften the knees on the next breath in. Wave forward to plank pose. Use your legs to push you. Then lift the back of your heart to the ceiling. Continue that wave-like energy broaden your chest and lift the back of your skull up in line with your upper back. So you're strong in your legs, strong in your core, strong in your arms, and broad in your chest. Rock forward and slowly lower down to your belly. Your knees can always touch down first. Untuck your toes so you can click your toenails down into your yoga mat. Bring the heels of your hands next to your smallest ribs. Activate your kneecaps up off the floor and loop your shoulder heads back. On your inhale, lift to a cobra pose, a baby cobra pose. So really small in terms of height, but very engaged in your back line to create lift. Take another deep breath in. Exhale to touch down and rock back into child's pose. Widen your knees and settle in. Your next breath in, lift to tabletop. Allow your inhalation to fill you and lift you. Tuck your toes. press back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring your feet together at the back of your mat. And then lift your right heel from the inseam. Feel your inner thigh spiral up. Then actively open up your left hip and bend your right knee. Stay grounded through your right palm so you're rooted, anchored. Press the back of your left thigh that's connected to the ground, back. Allow your right knee to become the highest point in your body. Then soften in your left knee. Push your right leg long. That softness allows your hips some room as you rotate it. Then exhale, come to low lunge. Step your right foot between your hands. It can be helpful to prop up onto your finger pads as you pull your chest through, or you always have your blocks. Strengthen through your back left leg. Root your left hand down. Inhale your right arm up for a low lunge twist. Allow your back leg to be the anchor for your spine to grow long from. So your inhales pull you from heel to heart. And then rotate belly, button, heart, and turn your nose under your top thumb. Take another deep breath in as you reach up. Exhale, forward fold, ragdoll variation. Place your hand down and use your core to step lightly your left foot up to meet your right. Take your feet hips width distance. Soften your knees. Drape your head low. Spend a couple breaths in this forward fold. Feel weight shift from your heels to your toes and back again. Allow the bend in your knees to create some spaciousness for your low back. Relax your fingertips to the ground, and on your inhale, slide your hands up your outer shin bones, lengthen your heart forward. Draw your shoulder blades away from your ears as the back of your neck lengthens. On your exhale, fold again. Allow your feet to come back underneath your hip sockets. Toes point forward to 12 o'clock. On your inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Lift your heart, reach your arms. Get extended as much as you root down, you grow up. Then exhale, fold again. This time your knees stay a little bit straighter. Feel heat and stretch move up the back line of your legs as you drip your brain down all the way to the ground. On your inhale, halfway lift. Move your heart forward, up off your thighs, lengthen your spine. Hands can rest at your shin bones. Then exhale into chaturanga, or you can take that journey all the way to your belly. If you move through chaturanga, lower just halfway. Inhale, hips move forward. Pull your lungs through the frame of your arms. Lift your heart up. Lengthen the back of your neck. On your exhale, from your core, your guts, your hip creases, lift up, hips first, heart follows, head last. Take a full breath in, full breath out. From the inseam of your left leg, lift your heel high. And soften into your right knee, open your hip and bend your left knee. Stay rooted and anchored in your hands so you can start to drive your right thigh back and your left knee becomes the highest point in your body. Soften your right knee again so you can level out your hip, then extend your left leg long on your inhale. Exhale, step through. Feel that plank-like quality. Hollow out your chest. Swing your left foot through to stamp between your thumbs. Strengthen and tone your right leg behind you. Root into your right hand, and on your inhale, peel your left lung and your left arm up. As you anchor down into your yoga mat, that gives you a reference point to reach up. Your strong right leg behind you gives a reference for your spine to grow long. And on every exhale, you can coil from belly button, heart, and your shoulder blade seals into your back ribs so you move as a unit. Take another breath in to reach. Then exhale, forward fold, touch down to ground, and step your right foot up to meet your left. Soften your knees to give your hips A release valve for any tension that's built up. Drain the back of your neck long. Grab for opposite elbows. Second set of ragdoll variation of forward fold. Good. Drip your fingertips down to the ground. And your inhale, halfway lift. Slide your hands up your shin bones and move your heart forward. Allow the back of your skull to lift up in line with your upper back. Exhale, forward fold. Feel your inner thighs spin back slightly as you bow. Use your in-breath to glide all the way up. Stand up tall. Lift your heart. Reach your fingertips active towards the ceiling. Then exhale, still again. Forward fold from your hip hinge. Inhale, halfway lift. Move your heart forward, long spine. Exhale, either chaturanga or chaturanga all the way down to your belly. If you choose to move through up dog, lower just halfway. Bring your lungs through the frame of your arms. Lift your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips first, heart and head second. Take a couple breaths in downward facing dog. In this downward facing dog, isometrically widen the top of your thigh bones away from one another and feel the side panels of your thighs start to stretch and press your heels low at the same time. You should start to feel area from your IT band all the way up to your upper hip stretch. Maintain that tension for one more inhale, one more exhale, and then soften the tension, maybe your knees slightly bend. Step your feet together. Inhale your right leg high, up and back. Exhale to lunge, step through. Easy twist, right arm goes skyward reach. Forward fold, hand down, step your left foot up. Halfway lift, inhale, long spine, heart moves away from the thighs. Exhale, fold and bow. Root to rise as you breathe in, stand up, reach up. Forward fold all the way back down. Halfway lift, inhale, lift your heart away from your legs and thighs. Exhale, hands down, chaturanga, lower halfway, press into the ground as you lower. Up dog, activate your legs, lift your heart through. Downward facing dog, hips first. Take a full breath in through your nose. Full breath, this time out your mouth. Again, deeply inhale. Deeply exhale. Feet come together. Inhale your left heel high, skyward, active leg, active foot. Exhale, step through, lunge, feel plank-like quality, foot comes through. Easy twist, circle left lung, left arm reach. Forward fold, touch to ground, step your right foot up. Halfway lift, feel tension alleviate from your hips as your heart moves forward. Forward fold, bow again, hips go high this time. Root to rise, circle your arms out and up, stand tall. Forward fold, bend from your hips, all the way back down to ground. Halfway lift, heart moves forward. Chaturanga Dandasana, lower halfway to mid-plank. Up dog, lift your chest, lengthen your arms, lengthen your neck. Downward facing dog, hips first. Take a full breath in, full breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Step your feet together. Inhale your right heel high, skyward. Exhale, step through lunge. Easy twist. Right arm moves up to the ceiling. Forward fold, touch down to ground. Halfway lift, heart moves forward, lengthen your spine. Forward fold, bow in half, head down to ground. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Sink your hips back, weight in your heels, lift your chest, off your thighs, reach your arms up to frame your ears.
In this variation, step your feet hips width distance, circle your hands behind your back, loop your shoulder heads back, and drive your knuckles down. Lift your chest up as you draw your front ribs in. Take a full breath in, lift your gaze to the ceiling. Exhale, spill, fold, let your belly rest between your thighs. Move your knuckles up away from your upper back. Allow your head to drop. Release the grip of your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Move your chest up off your thighs. This time as you exhale, step and lunge your left foot way back. Lengthen your spine like the plank, and it can be helpful to come to fingertips here. On your very next inhale, connect your back heel down and circle open to warrior two. Find the knife edges of your feet to press them down so the inner arch line can draw up. Feel that strength and stability, and continue that energy up. Belly moves in, heart up, right? And then arms can extend out. Shoulder blades still seal into the back, and your gaze can come over your front middle finger. Don't be shy about taking up some real estate on your mat. And as much as you bend into your front knee to stack it over your ankle, also feel that connection down through your back leg so you're really rooted firm into your yoga mat. From that strong connection to earth, we can rise up and lift. We grow from a place of groundedness. Your next full breath in, pull your front leg straight. Engage your muscles so you're protecting the knee joint because you're actually having muscle engagement around it instead of being loosey-goosey on it, all right? Feel your front hip crease, move back, sharpen, yeah? And then come through to triangle trikonasana. So for a lot of us, bringing our hand to our shin or to the ground creates a dumping sensation, and you want to lift. So this can be a great place to bring a block, place it underneath your hand. Focus on the bottom waist. Grow it from your hip crease to your armpit, as if you're creating a Tadasana spine. Direct your tailbone towards your back heel. Lengthen your side bodies long, and then turn your heart underneath your thumb. Now, take your top arm behind your back. Focus on the arm bone. Move it back so that you can expose a free line of sight all the way up to the ceiling. If that causes any discomfort in your neck, you can gaze forward or down. Put a softness into your right knee, then begin to move into your transition. Inhale to reverse warrior. Reach up through your ribs. So the ribs guide up. You can keep this half bind or lightly rest your hand. And then your top arm moves in the same direction of that lifted rib. Take one more breath in. Feel the expansion. On your exhale, plant your hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Feet come together. Lift your left heel high to sky. Exhale, step through lunge. Easy twist. Circle left lung, left arm up. Touchdown, ground, forward fold. Halfway lift your chest. Inhale. Heart moves forward. Neck stays long. Forward fold, bow in half. Hips go high, head goes low. Chair pose, Utkatasana. This time, feet together. Lift your arms up to frame your ears. Root weight into your heels. Enough that if you wanted to, you could lift your toes without losing your ground. Draw your belly in to secure your middle back. Lift your chest. Now imagine that your pinkies could rise higher than your thumbs. Take a full breath in here. Exhale, fold and bow. Halfway lift your chest. Inhale. Now lunge. Right foot steps way back. Move your heart through like the plank. Connect your back heel down. Open up to warrior two. Seal down through the edges of your feet so you can drop up through the arches. And then notice if your ribs are coming forward, back them up over your pelvis, lift your chest through, and gaze over your front middle finger. So here you can see, it's not that my shoulders are squeezed in, but they are secure. The shoulder blades are secure into the back, and the arms move with the torso. Allow your crown to float high, so that as you turn your gaze over your front middle finger, there's no pain in your neck. In your next breath in, straighten and tone your front leg, feel your hip crease sharpen, and then spill. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. So again, you can bring the block right on in for your bottom hand. Pull your bottom waist long to create suspension or lift in your torso that allows you to turn and spiral. Gaze comes up. Take a few breaths here and feel the heat of the pose. Full body's working here. Breath is on to support you. Now soften into your front knee to prepare for your transition. Use your inhale to sweep up, reverse warrior. Lead with your ribs. And again, if you wanted to add that bind, you can wrap, move the arm bone back, lift up through your ribs so that this comes from the center of you. Arm follows that line. Full breath in. Exhale, hands down. Downward facing dog. Rock forward to plank pose. We'll close off that series. Slowly lower down to your belly. Click your toes down into the ground. Lift to baby cobra. Back of the neck is last. Exhale into child's pose. Rock back. Sit your hips down. Lower your heart. Rest your forehead. Find groundedness. Next inhale, lift, tabletop. Feel that ocean-like quality of breath moving through from tail to head. Tuck your toes and then push back, downward facing dog. We focus on what grounds us, right? There is a sense of calm even when the muscles we're working creates a fire or heat in our body. It's not something that feels that it will burn us up. Instead, it is this assuredness that we're really, really strong, or as I like to say, I have never seen anyone's legs fall off in a yoga class. It just hasn't happened, right? So they're a reminder of life. They're a reminder of our strength and our ability. On your inhale, lift your right heel high. We'll move through some of these motions again. On your exhale, step through lunge. Left hand anchors, easy twist, right lung, right arm reach. This time touch down, come to a standing split. So as your torso starts to pendulum or weight you down, use that equal and opposite energy to lift your left heel up. Drop your head. It can be a fun challenge to come to your fingertips on your left hand and wrap your right hand or arm behind your right calf and Achilles tendon. And if you find that connection, pull up on that skin to create a core response. Continue to lift through the inseam of your left leg. So that can be tricky. You may feel that tendency to open up, and we all will open up a little, but continue to energize through the inner thigh. Now soften both knees on your inhale, chair pose. So soft knees softens the blow, and like a springboard, you can come up, heart lifts, arms reach. Exhale, twist, prayer twist. Hook your elbow to your thigh. Lengthen your waist and neck on your inhale, so that as your rotation, you spiral like a double helix. Where your ribs are is where you can twist. Good. Anchor into your right foot. Feel that weight transfer. Inhale to a single leg mountain pose. Unwind, lift your left knee, and then as you shoot your fingertips down, draw your heart through. Take a full breath in here. Then exhale and tip into a heart-centered Vira-3. Anchor into your right leg and push through your left. Know that your blocks are always there for you, so if you need the ground, you can bring a block underneath your hand at any height. Allow your spine to stay long. Feel your pinky toe line roll down and your thigh holds up. Soften into your right knee and land. Fingertips can catch you. Inhale to warrior 2, back heel down, spiral open. Straighten your front leg. Exhale into triangle pose. Lengthen your bottom waist. Feel the center of each heel root. Big toe mound roots. Arch line lifts. Soften into your right knee. Inhale to a reverse warrior. Reach up. Go back. On your exhale, come through to extended side angle pose. You can bring your arm onto your thigh. Sweep your back hand now across your chest, up over your ear. Spiral your bottom ribs through. Option for your gaze to come up. Notice if all your weight's going into your toes. Instead, keep it down into your heel. Pull your waist long, gaze down. And then we'll stand up into half moon. So your top hand can come to your hip. Ground your bottom hand or bring it to a block. Step in and up. As you root into your right leg, activate your lifted leg from your outer hip all the way to your ankle. Feel that energy from your arch all the way to your groin. Draw in as if you had this muscular boot that you could pull up. When you feel stable and ready, expand from your rootedness. You root down to rise up. Take one more breath in. Flirt with the weight in the bottom hand. Give yourself that moment of whoop and aha. Then soften and land warrior 2. Flip your front palm, scoop up, reverse. Then exhale into downward facing dog. Plant your hands and step back. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Step your feet together. Lift your left heel from the inseam. Rise up. Then rock forward. Step through lunge. Anchor your right hand, low lunge twist, easy twist, left lung, left hand reaches. Touch down to ground and tip into standing splits. Use the weight of your torso to encourage the bend at your hip and then reach up through the inseam of your right thigh, back leg, lifts your heel. Allow your head to drop completely. So if you feel yourself yearning to see, instead just trust. Let your head root down. Come to your finger pads in your right hand. Scoop up your back calf on your left leg with your hand and your arm. So make that connection solid and lift up on that skin. Good. Soften both knees. Land your feet. Then like a button was pressed, lift. Heart up, arms up, reach up. Lots of spaciousness. Then coil, twist, prayer twist. Lengthen from tailbone through your spine, through your neck on inhale. Feels like your waist is long, and then exhale to coil twist. Good. Notice if your shoulders become an earring, let it go. Transfer weight into your left foot. Unwind. Lift up, single leg mountain pose. Shoot your fingertips down, knit your front ribs in. Draw your knee and your heart up. Good. Take a full breath in. Heart-centered Vira-3. Push your right foot back. As if there was 100 pounds of weight you could push on it, and then draw up through your inner thigh. Soften into your left knee. Land, fingertips can catch you in your lunge. Then spiral open, warrior two. Straighten through your front leg, feel your hips glide. Then exhale into triangle pose, long waist. Turn your gaze up underneath your thumb. Soften into your front knee, come into your reverse warrior. Reach up through your ribs, extend. Then exhale into side angle pose. Forearm can meet your thigh. Back arm goes across your ear. If it feels a little stuck, you can always swoop it down and bring it over. Allow your bottom ribs to spiral through. Gaze comes under your armpit. From here, top hand can come to your hip. Front hand goes down or to a block. Step in and up. Half moon is more like a diagonal line than a curve. So feel from your heel through your spine this long line of energy. From hand to hand, you can come for that north-south or floor-to-ceiling sensation of energy. Allow your legs to be strong, muscles to the bones so they hold themselves. We integrate that idea of good tension to create a suspension. Soften into your grounded knee. We'll land in warrior two. Flip your front palm, lift into reverse warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. We'll close off this series. Rock forward to plank pose. Feel that wave from your feet, through your spine, through your head. Slow lower all the way to your belly. Press your feet down. Lift to cobra pose. Back of your neck stays long. Exhale into child's pose. Rock it back like water. Spill your head down between your arms. Take a few breaths here. Connect into the ground. Connect into what roots you physically, your mat on the floor, but then also emotionally. What brings you to your yoga mat, or what inside you can you find a connection to that is unshakable. Let your lungs empty completely. And as filling up, as if you were filling up an empty well with water, take your deepest inhale, rise, tabletop. That inflation of your lungs lifts you, and then tuck your toes and press back to downward facing dog. Step your feet together in this repetition, good for the brain, gives you a sense of grounding, even energetically as well as mentally. Lift your right heel, and then step through, lunge, a familiar place, a familiar point. Left hand anchors, reach your right arm up, easy twist. Touch down, standing splits, hands go down, draw, bridge your left heel up. Forehead tips to your shin. Chair pose, soften your knees, lift your heart, spring your arms up next to your ears. Prayer twist, rotate to the right, shift your weight into your right leg. Single leg mountain pose, come on up, lift your left knee in front of your hip, flex your toes. This time exhale into a figure four chair, send your sit bones down, lower energy centers anchor. Weight of your left knee anchors, pull your heart through, Breathe and be. Trust that your legs hold you. The ground is got you. You are unshakable. Root into your right leg. Inhale to single leg mountain pose once again. And wrap into eagle. Left leg coils around the right. And bring your left arm underneath your right. You can always place a block underneath your toe if the ankle bind doesn't work for you. Good. As you sit low, lift your heart up. Breathe into the space between your shoulders. Keep a softness in your right knee. Unwind your hands. Unwind your left leg so you're bent, you're squatted, you're low. Let that heat build. And then step back, warrior two. Scoop the air, reverse, reach up and back. Then your hands come down, step back, down dog. Breathe in. Open mouth, exhale. Left heel goes high, reach it up, let it go back. Then step through, lunge. Root your right hand, peel your left lung, your left arm open and up. Touch down, standing splits. Lift your right heel high as your head drops low. Soften both knees. Chair pose, root, rise up, arms up. Prayer twist, wrap and coil. Armpit aims for the outside of your left thigh. Root into your left foot. Feel the energy and weight transfer as you anchor down, unwind, rise up. Right knee comes up with you. Energize your foot and then cross and sit. Hands can come to your heart as you anchor down. You feel yourself go into the core of this floor, of the mat, but also the center of you, the base of you, and the center of you. Unshakable, unmovable, so that from that point, you can grow tall. Trust that heat that's building in your legs. Let it be a reminder of your strength, of your power, your ability to stand firm in what you believe in, what you manifest for your life, what your intention is. On your next inhale, unwind, lift up, and then wrapping coil, eagle, Garudasana, right leg, over left, right arm, under left. Hug your bound limbs to the plumb line of your body, the center of you, so that you can start to lift up in your spine. Good. Draw your hands to your heart. Unwind your right leg and stay squatted low. And step back and open. Surf into warrior two. Flip your palms, lift the air, send it back. Then root your hands and step back, downward facing dog. Soften your knees and rock forward, plank pose. Feel the back of your heart lift, neck goes long, then slow lower to your belly. Loop your shoulder heads back, lift into cobra pose. Exhale, child's pose, swim back. Rest your belly, rest your third eye, rest your arms. Take a full inhalation, full exhalation. Again, inhale, exhale. Last time, breathe in, breathe out. Fill the well of your lungs, tabletop, lift. Downward dog, tuck, hips, heart, head.
Feel your arms root like scaffolding for your sit bones to move high. Press your thigh bones back. Feel the entire back line of your legs more open than the beginning of class. Step your feet together. Inhale your right leg high and long and up. Exhale, step through lunge. Easy twist, right arm up and reach. This time, touch down and rock your hips back into a more open pyramid pose. So your back heel will stay up, front toes can flex to your nose, level your hips. Squeeze your inner thighs past one another, move your chest forward. Now if you want, you can bring your hands on a block. Or if you need a little extra, take your hands to the outside edge of your right foot, squeeze your thighs past one another. Tap your right pinky toe up towards your hip. Good. Then gently unwind, place your foot down. Block can come forward. Widen your right foot to the edge of the mat, rock forward and come into a lizard pose. So if your hands are comfortable on the ground, you can keep them there. You can come down to your forearms. You can also bring your block down, bring your forearms there. From there, come up into your hands. Shift forward, and then bend heel to butt. Turn the off your kneecap, the bottom of the thigh bone. Then swim your right arm back, capture your left foot. And then lift your chest through, shoulder blade tacks onto the back. You can turn your gaze up or keep it down. Good. 2 more breaths. Gently unwind your right hand. Shift your hips back over your left knee. Keep your left toes tucked, and then hop your right heel forward into half splits or Ardha Hanumanasana. Move your chest through and forward. You'd like to go into full splits or a fuller split, right? Tuck your back toe and move your back leg back. You can bring your blocks in. And this is where it can be helpful to have 2 blocks. So you can bring your blocks underneath your hands, hop forward, keep your torso more upright. Once you find your maximum, keep 1 block for your torso to stay upright. The other block can come underneath your thigh, and that keeps your knee safe so you're not hyperextending it. You're just coming into some new space, right? So you can be upright, legs are active. Come out of this, put weight into your hands, tuck your back toe, ease up on your front leg, set the blocks to the side. Once you can root your hand, bring your right foot back, we'll meet in downward facing dog. It may feel good to pedal your legs just a little bit. Let's do this on the other side. Lift your left heel high. Step it through to lunge. Soak your right hand down as you straighten your right leg and then spin. Easy twist. Touch down. Drag your left hip back. Flex your toes to your nose. So again, you can use spider fingers. You could bring your hands to a block. Let your hips level. If you need a little bit more, you can bring your block to the outer edge. Squeeze your inner thighs past one another to stay active. Continue to flex your toes to your nose. Good. Gently unwind, come back central. Bend into your left knee.
come into a lizard pose. So hands can come down, knee comes down, forearms either to the ground or to a walk. Notice if you're sagging in your hips, instead stay a little lifted, heart through. It'll just give you enough integrity in your pelvis so that we're not like abusing the root of us, right? We're keeping it stable and supported. Good. Hands come down. Think tailbone to the back of the knee. Bend your knee. Swim opposite hand to foot. And don't just like crank from your arm, right? Instead lift and then turn. Shoulder blade stays on the back so that as you move through, it actually enhances the stretch you feel in your quad without pulling at your shoulder. Feeling your chest open instead of just tugging your arm out of socket. Good. Gently unwind. Shift into your Ardha Hanuman. And I like these back toes tucked. Heart moves through. Continue to pull your toes to your nose and this little pinky toe. Tack it all the way up to the outer hip so you can feel that move back. So if you'd like to move into an expression of splits for you today, use your back toe to inch your knee back. You can use your block underneath the meat of your hamstring. So if you're feeling this kind of sagging down, right, instead, let your knee bend a little. Slide a block underneath. That way you can stay lifted, upright, active legs. Squeeze your inner thighs past one another and feel that lift. These ideas of full expression, and sometimes that gets in front of our power, right? It actually disenfranchises us. It takes us down a peg. It takes away our empowerment. Instead, we can say, this is where I am. This is where I feel stable. This is where I find ground. And we start there. We can grow, right? And we can grow into whatever shape we're supposed to take, and it'll feel that much better. We'll feel more powerful. We'll feel more able. Yeah. Good. All right. Come out of this. Hands come down. Push into the ground. Lift from your core. Soften the knee. Tuck your back toes, and as you shift forward, you can push off that back leg and step to down dog. There's not like this really super graceful transition for most of us coming out of the splits. And that's okay, right? The best transition is the safest transition, so move slow. Come into your last down dog of class. Feel how it's a little different than the first one. More space. Rock forward into your plank pose. Lower to your belly. Allow the ground to receive you. And let your forehead come down to your hands. Release your hands. Bend your knees. Receive your feet. Loop your shoulder heads back. Lift into floor bow. Activate your toes. Pull back line of your legs working. Lift your chest through. Lift your gaze straight forward. Breathe high into the upper registers of your lungs to open up your chest muscles. One more breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Take your head down and rock your heels side to side. From there, turn on over to your back. Grab a block, lift your hips, slide your block out from underneath you, or slide it underneath you rather. Let your hips come down. Take your right leg, tuck your heel underneath, bring your left hand to grab your foot, knee comes down. So for a lot of us, the knee will stay upright. That's the case, keep your left foot planted. If your knee touches the ground, Extend your left leg as long as there's no pain in your low back. If there's pain in your low back, place your foot back down. That's just an indication that your hip flexor is not open, is not ready for that level of openness. It wants to stay in a different zone, right? But if this feels okay to extend your leg, extend your leg. And then from there, it can feel really nice to reach your right arm up. 2 more breaths. To start, bring your right hand down, step your left foot in, unwind your right foot back down to the ground. Take the other side, tuck your left foot down, grab it with your right hand, and then notice, see where your knee wants to fall. If it wants to hover off the ground, it doesn't feel comfortable, or there's tugging on your low back, just keep your right foot planted. Your low back feels happy, it feels okay, then extend your right leg long. So we don't get a gold star for going to a further expression, right? We don't really have A+ or gold stars in yoga. It's about finding whatever body shows up on the mat, physically, mentally, and emotionally every day, right? And locking into what grounds us as an individual, as a human, not to hole up or to become a hermit, but to find a place of reference from which we can grow. And so once we feel that familiarity or that security or that even that safety, it's not the idea to stay put then. Instead, we have a reference to say, I can go somewhere because I feel wise and held and ready. And in those moments when we're not, we know that we have a sure ground to go right back to, and that's okay too. Bring your arm back down, unwind both feet, stamp them, lift your hips, slide the block out from underneath you. Let your knees touch in. Give that moment for your back to rebound. And now we'll release our groin in Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of feet together, or some people call this butterfly, some people call it bound angle. Soles of the feet together, knees just open wide with gravity. If this is too much on your groin, you can always slide your blocks underneath your thigh bones if you'd like. If your legs feel fine as they are, just snuggle your shoulders underneath you, flip your palms up. From there, hands come to your knees, guide them shut. Hug your knees into your chest. For some of us, it may feel good to take a couple more twists, or if you need a happy baby, you're welcome to it. Perhaps you're someone who loves to end their practice in a headstand. You can take that time. And when you're ready, meet me in Shavasana. Allow your body to lay out. Give your armpits room to breathe. Soften your belly to receive and surrender breath. Come into this feeling of being held, of being grounded, of having a right and sure and firm place of reference for your body, for your thoughts, for your breath, for your life. Find comfort in the idea that there is a life force that tethers you to this space. That there is breath in your lungs. Feel grounded in the knowledge that there's blood that pumps through your veins without you having to think about it. This so often very trustworthy. You can put one foot in front of the other. You can also lay here on the floor. I invite you to take as much time as you can in Shavasana. But if you're ready to move or you need to leave, life is calling, let your fingers and toes wiggle. Rock your head side to side. Just stretch your arms and toes long away from one another. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll to your side. Use your grounded hand to push up so your neck doesn't have to lose any of its comfort. Find an easy pose. And then link your thumbs, spread your fingers out wide, and press your eagle wings into your chest. Breathe up into your chest, a reminder of life. Exhale out an open mouth. Circle your hands to Anjali or prayer hands up to your mind's eye. Bow to seal your practice.